What is going on, guys? Hey, I wanted to come to you this afternoon and bring you some Steven Crowder. And he is on the streets talking to folks about hate speech and how that stuff should not be legislated. And I've agreed with pretty much every point that he makes talking to these folks. But also, guys, I wanted to bring up, if you guys haven't heard, that the shooting that happened at that club in Colorado on Saturday, which is a very tragic situation, but they blame people on the left blamed people like Matt Walsh for speaking against that community. And anyways, it came out earlier today, that this person is non-binary. The shooter is non-binary. So I don't think they watch the Matt Walsh show. I could be wrong, but I don't think they do. With that being said, I watched a few minutes of the Matt Walsh show earlier, and he had a clip that Joy Reid from MSNBC put up of apparently she went to one of those drag queen story hours, and he puts up a clip of her at the drag queen story hour, and she records from the drag queens. And I got to put this up because I find it to be absolutely hilarious. Kind of scary at the same time. But I'm going to set that up first. But hey guys, if you would, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.
Speaking of people with brain parasites, Joy Reid attempted to defend drag queen groomer hours by showing a video from one that she attended. And it does show you how, out of touch doesn't even begin to describe it, but it does show you how out of touch these people are. That she thinks that you'll watch this and then you'll come to the conclusion that, oh, actually it's great to have combined kids and drag queens. Let's see.
And I just want to, just to go on, because I don't think most people have ever seen one. I've been to one with kids there, I want to show you guys what drag queen story hour was like, because there was a drag show that was supposed to be at this club when this attack happened. I just want those who don't know what they look like to see what one looks like. This is cut 2. Please play this.
The hair. So a lot of drag queens have really big hair. So the hair on the drag queen goes up, up, up. So you can put your hands on your head like this and go up, up, up. So the hair on the drag queen goes up, 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 up. The hair on the drag queen goes up, up,
what
up.
The hell am I watching?
Through the town. Good job.
And
what the hell did I just watch? Really, what the, and we want, this is what we, I guess, want now to be around our kids. And
want to move to Canada. So you would be okay with like Canadian law where you can be jailed for quote unquote hate speech or fined? Yeah.
What is hate speech in Canada like then?
Well, they just passed a bill where you can actually, depending on how you read it legally, you can be fined or you can be jailed for misusing gender pronouns for someone who's transgender.
Really?
Mm-hmm. You can be punished for that
By
legally.
accident? What if you...
At that point, right, legally it's either it's illegal or it's not, so then it becomes, is it by accident or is it on purpose? Either way, is it something that should be a punishable offense?
No.
Okay. So we've said that's not hate speech.
So in other words, they're trying to break down the First Amendment rights in Canada.
Well, they don't have a First Amendment. Yeah. No other country has a First Amendment outside the United States. Yeah, free speech doesn't exist outside the United States. A lot of people don't know that. So are we willing to trade that if speech is offensive? I say no, but I'm willing to hear any arguments that change my mind.
Thank you.
Yeah, they walk off, people should be allowed to say whatever it is they want to say, as long as they're not calling for a crime to be committed. You know, I mean, if they want to say, you know, a nasty, racist remark, I mean, yeah, that's fine. It should be protected. You know, it's not free from consequences. But yeah, it should be protected. Yeah.
That's all. You know, even if we disagree on, let's say, everything, I think it's important to listen to what an opposing point of view has to say.
In other words, we can just, you're trying to define hate speech as just in the same category as all speech. It's
Yes.
the First Amendment.
Yes.
So, and it's your right. It doesn't make it ethical, of course. It doesn't make
Of course. You could say something very offensive, for example, very racist, that I would disagree with horribly, but it's speech. You have the right to say it, and I have the right to be offended if I want. I have the right to disagree with it.
Yeah.
I have the right to argue why you're wrong, but I don't believe that we have the right to shut down anyone's speech based on a term like hate. But I'm open to hearing convincing arguments on hate speech.
Good point. Not to mention when you say something like that you didn't mean, and once it comes out of your mouth, you can't take it back.
Yeah, I know.
And you may not have meant it, or it just accidentally slipped out, or
Right.
the wrong person heard it. The microphone was on.
Get a couple wild turkeys in you, all of a sudden you're talking about making America great again. You never know what comes out. Yeah, I've seen it.
But you're not pro-Trump.
That's an interesting question. I'm actually more of a libertarian. I am definitely a conservative, having moved to the States, leaving a socialist country. I'm not a huge fan of Trump individually.
Conservatives?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm pro-free speech. I'm pro-Second Amendment. I'm pro-limited government. I don't really know what Trump is on any of those policies. But for example, looking at his recent tax proposal, I would support that. I would support coming from a family of legal immigrants. I would support ensuring our borders, making sure that we're secure, while of course allowing people to immigrate here legally. So certain policy, I definitely line up more with him than say like Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders. But I don't particularly like him.
Right. Because there's a few facts about Trump that are bothersome to me.
Yeah.
The fact that I expect that because many presidents before him, especially even Michelle Obama had a PhD. Barack had a PhD.
What does Michelle Obama have to do with what kind of degree she has? What does it have to do with any of the president's college degrees or level of scholastic attainment? It's like she was the first lady. It's like Jill Biden or any of the Laura Bush, Barbara Bush, Nancy Reagan. What does that have to do with anything?
That's the highest position in the country. Wouldn't you think we would expect at least the person to be that well educated? You have a PhD. He's got a bachelor's that his dad probably paid for.
Right.
Okay? We pretty much know that. I mean, come on. Not to mention, go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to ask you a question. Who would you say, or just you don't have to pick any one specifically, but list, who would you say were the best presidents like throughout history, from George Washington up until today? Who are your personal favorite?
My personal favorite is Abe Lincoln.
Okay. Did he have a PhD?
I do not know.
Is it possible that Abraham Lincoln read in a shack by candlelight? Mm-hmm. With very little formal education?
Mm-hmm. You tell me, did he?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm figuring that's the case as you're saying that.
My only contention there is that a PhD doesn't make anyone smart or unintelligent. I've met people with PhDs who are moronic. I've met people who never graduated high school who are brilliant.
Yeah.
It's not to say you're wrong if your presupposition is that President Trump is unintelligent. I'm not arguing that, but I don't think that a PhD is a fair determining parameter.
Yeah, you can't make someone's degree a factor in determining whether or not they can do voted in office to do well as far. I mean, you should have a 4-year degree or a doctorate or a master's or no degree, or they're voted into office, and that should be the only determining factor of whether or not. I mean, they need to be a citizen and that kind of stuff, and they need to be above a certain age, 35, I think it is. But yeah, I mean, what would it matter if they have a 2-year degree, a 4-year degree, 8 years? I mean, what would it really matter? Again, I've met, very smart people with, master's and doctorate degrees, very honestly, very dumb people with higher level degrees, with college degrees. I mean, they really don't think. I mean, they've been taught a certain way by their education, by the university system, and that's the way they think. They don't go outside of that at all. And as a matter of fact, I got to be honest with you, I find more people with college degrees, the further up you go, the longer you know, master's or a doctorate, kind of the more dumb you can get in a lot of ways, because sometimes you're so fully indoctrinated by the system, and you don't have any kind of any other point of view, and it's like you can't see something. You can't see the trees to the forest. It's like you can't see the forest to the trees. You can't. You can't see what you can't see, and yeah. I mean, so I think again, people need to go to school to become, doctors or lawyers or, engineers or whatever. But I think sometimes it really causes a problem, with certain ways of thinking, especially with liberal art type degrees. And I know it's going to piss a lot of people off by saying that, but I really believe that to be the case. And I've even my own thinking in a lot of ways, being around people that I have a college degree, but I went later in life. But being around people in the university system, when I was younger, in my 20s and stuff, I mean, they have a certain mindset, and that's kind of taught in the university system.
And based, it seems, on your own preferences, we probably agree on that.
Yeah, unless you look at the fact that educational opportunities were not as easy for people, for past presidents, as they might have been for Trump, especially since Trump has enough money, to have gone that far. And that has stifled his maturity, I believe. I mean, he's sorry, but he's a toddler. I mean, he is. He's immature.
I think he's emotionally immature. I would agree on that.
I am a therapist. So, clinically speaking, he is mentally ill and not stable. Doesn't belong in the White House.
Yeah, but we can't necessarily forbid him from the White House if people voted for him, right? Just based on that.
Yeah.
See, the other thing is, if you're diagnosing somebody without actually spending time with them and actually diagnosing them. But but again, I do agree that Trump says things that he probably shouldn't say. And he, he's definitely can be very temperamental, but it doesn't mean that he's not qualified to do something. And again, I don't want to get too much into my political views, but they're definitely more right-leaning, more conservative type views. But with Trump, I think we kind of need somebody right now that's not going to put up with a whole lot of BS. And I think that's why people like Trump are, why Trump is loved by so many people. It's because he doesn't kind of kowtow to the woke narrative at all. And I think that's what is attractive about Trump to a lot of people. And I got to be honest, it's attractive to me. I'm really kind of sick of the whole woke narrative. And I think a lot of people are.
But I don't acknowledge him as my president.
You don't?
No, I don't.
Why's that?
No, because he's not representing what I feel is valuable.
Okay.
My values.
Okay.
But
he is the president, legally.
And I feel like every stupid opportunity that he has, like going to Puerto Rico, throwing paper towels, it's like PR stunts.
Yeah.
And his rhetoric, he's doesn't. What did I hear the other day? He said he was looking to speak to the president of the Virgin Islands or something like that.
Yeah.
He's just that bad that he doesn't understand. His horizons aren't open enough.
So it'd be safe to say that you're probably more left. You're liberal.
I am.
Okay. But I guess on this, it sounds like we agree. You support the first
president.
Al Franken president? Okay. Sounds like we agree, though, on this, on the idea of the First Amendment.
Yeah.
And no limitations on freedom of speech.
We have to, because when we start putting those limitations, we're going to be like we're going to be needing Amnesty International to step in and save our asses.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So you're pretty.
You said something that, yeah.
You're pretty right-leaning on that, libertarian on that. Does it bother you at all that your party, who you support, the DNC, people like Al Franken, there's a lot of proposed legislation on speech, that they support hate speech laws? Does that concern you?
They support those
hate speech laws.
Constrictions on the First Amendment?
And also, of course, culturally, I'm sure you're aware, liberals obviously are far less tolerant of speech they disagree with. But on the legal side, would you be, for example, opposed to any legislation that would impede on someone's speech?
I would oppose to it.
Okay. Would you vote for it?
Leftist leaning. It is, even though.
Yeah.
So that's ironic because.
Hillary, Bernie, Warren, Graham.
It's not politics. It's in psychology, but.
I'm actually very interested to hear your opinion on that, because you would know more about the pathology behind that, and seems like you agree with. Seems like we find common ground, even though I'm an evil right-wing, privileged white male from Canada, and you're more a liberal.
Well, if you're from Canada, you can't be all that bad. Well, it's interesting that.
Yeah, you're only privileged white men if you're from America, and and especially if you're conservative and from certain areas in the country, and it's like yeah.
That's something they get behind, because if they're if the liberal left-wing view has always been free thinking, and free to be who you are, and gay rights and all this stuff, and
right.
Immigration and pro-immigration, why wouldn't we still welcome that freedom to express ourselves?
Right.
Because I'm an artist too.
Sure.
And you never want to think that it would start to spread in that regard too.
Right.
That we could be stifled by our ability to express ourselves in that particular manner.
Okay.
And have it be what's the word I'm looking for?
Tyrannical.
Yeah.
That could be
but have
tyrannical.
it be defined or
Right.
looked at or
Sure. So let me ask you this.
I see a message in this. It's hate. So take it off the wall, and you're arrested for.
I know.
Yeah.
Well,
I didn't mean it that way.
Right. Exactly. Well, let me ask you this kind of final question, because I know you have to go on your merry way here today. Let me ask you this: would you now do, maybe after this conversation, a little more research into candidates you support regarding their positions on freedom of speech?
Yeah, because I didn't know Al Franken was opposed.
Well, let's say whoever it is, whether it's Bernie or Hillary Clinton, would you look into it more, and let's say it were a candidate who supported some form of hate speech laws or constrictions in the First Amendment? Mm-hmm. Would you consider not voting for them even though they were a Democrat?
Yeah, I definitely would.
See, that was nice. Not everyone's this guy.
Imagine we change the First Amendment.
Yeah.
And then we pass a law saying that X behavior is hate speech.
Right.
Is it now hate speech?
That would be a violation of human rights, and I wouldn't support it. Thank God there's no law like that exists.
That's wonderful. Imagine that we did it.
But here's the thing:
imagine that we did it.
Can I? I just answered your question.
I'm here
Imagine
to
that we did it. Imagine that we did it.
Hate speech isn't a thing because there's no legal definition of it.
Right.
I'm saying, imagine if there was a legal definition.
Yes.
What in the hell is this kid even talking about? It's like, just imagine if there was. It's like, well, if there was, it'd be horrible. It'd be, infringing on people's rights. And it's like, well, but imagine if it was. Yeah, it'd be horrible. It'd be infringing on rights. Yeah, but what?
It
would then be hate speech.
No, it would be a violation of human rights, and I wouldn't support it.
I agree it's a violation of human rights.
Okay, so you don't support hate speech laws?
I do.
Okay.
I'm hearing you say that whether or not something is hate speech hinges on whether or not it's legally defined.
No. What I'm saying is, yes,
I don't want to hear you tell me that there is not a legal.
There is no legal definition of hate speech in the United States, and freedom of speech is a fundamental human right.
So what?
So the only world in which hate speech would be defined, correct me if I'm wrong, you're drawing a hypothetical, you've ignored the reality of where we are now. Let me finish my phrase.
Exists without a law. You run up and call someone a nigger, that's hate speech.
First off, I wouldn't use that language. You could be fined for hate speech. Hey, did you enjoy?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, God almighty. I mean, again, this generation, they were not cooked well enough. They were not left in the oven or something. There's something going on. I mean, you son of a